Hey everybody again, I'm back at it. Whoa, hold on. Try this again. Hey everybody. What the hell's up? Okay, I'm like at this stage of learning how to do these videos because I don't do videos often, but the last take I did, I noticed that the heater in the workroom, garage, whatever you want to call it, my build room, it gets cold. It's even though it's insulated. So anyway, this today we're cleaning the same L1 guitar, Gibson. Yep, we're cleaning it. More cleaning, just taking and just washing. And that's all I'm going to do today. Is just clean this thing up. Hello again, everybody. Back at it again, working on this guitar. Um, so, anyhow, I drew up the mock up for this bridge. And I first had to, what I do is I usually draw a center line and I take the existing material that I had before and got some basic specs. Plus, it needs to fit this here, which is the pieces of cellulose acetate. And I'm going to take this material, which is tortoiseshell, and mother it onto here like this. Cut these, I'll probably get 2 of them out of this. But anyhow, I'm just kind of have it go like this, and I got it, I kind of earlier got everything squared up with this line here, with this bridge, and I was able to get everything all squared up off my center line, which is really key to anything that you do, is have a center line that you can go from and keep everything, on point. And plus, I might still, before I cut into this material, it's not that expensive, but it does cost in trying to make this. This is the same material that they like make eyeglasses out of anymore. Cellulose acetate, nitrocellulose anymore isn't used. That stuff is old. It's brittle, has its own qualities. This is cellulose acetate, from what I understand, is used up other plastics that are chopped up and processed with acetate and other chemicals sometimes, but I think this is more natural, and then it's compressed and it's cut. It's a little bit, it's basically more eco-friendly in a sense. You have to excuse the heater. It gets kind of chilly out here in this garage. So anyway, this is more cellulose acetate, from my understanding, is more beneficial to work with than something that's more toxic, such as nitrocellulose. Anyway, enough on that. So I did this so that I can mother these 2 pieces inside this bridge, and it's going to go like this. I'm going to take this, I'm going to find out what my scale is, cut this up, and then get this all situated. This is what the bridge is I'm pretty much going to go with. And here's what's interesting, is that here's where the strings were attached, they attached to on the bridge, and they're already set at a particular distance that seemed to work with the guitar already. So I just took those same measurements and applied them horizontally from my center line, and then along the arc of the bridge, which is similar to the design from what I've seen, we'll make that line from this shape, and then just kind of put holes where those holes are going to be. What's interesting is the bridge is going to be sitting up here anyway, so if there's any slight deviation, it'll help line it up much better up here anyway. But I don't foresee it being too much of a problem. I mean, yeah, I'm going to be redoing this anyway, cleaning it up some more. It's pretty deeply grooved in a way. Still, I could clean it up, and then I want it to back off a little bit, take off a little material on the back end so that you get a good starting point on the string. But you don't want to take too much off because then it becomes a weak point. So yeah. So on the bass side here, that's about right. Just needs to just hold on to hold the string in there, really. So anyway, this is what I've got going today. I built this mock-up, drew it out, and this is how it's gonna look. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I usually draw on vellum all the time. Makes it easier because I can duplicate and replicate and copy and do whatever I want with acetate, and it helps with records. Okay, so anyway, this is how it's going to go here. So now that I know what that's going to look like, I hope you guys don't get too bored with me sitting here trying to figure this shit out. So I already know I got a center line here, and this is pretty much center there, and it looks really good. You know, it looks really good at this point. Excuse me. Looks really good. I've removed all the rust that I can out of here. Now, I got some stainless rod here that I was thinking about replacing this. And replacing it with the existing steel. But here's the drawback to that, is that in order for me to do that, I'd have to cut this off, and then I have to, because this is about 10,000 slightly larger, I think, or not even that. It's like just a smidge larger, which, yeah, I don't know. I have to decide what I want to do, because putting the stainless rod in there would make this much more sturdier, last longer, and won't have to worry about steel. But here's the thing, this is the idea of me wanting to keep it the way it is and me polishing it up, is keeping it fully original. The only thing I really want to do here is just replace the bridge. So I'm back to, you know, preservation here. And if I do this right, clean it up, seal it somehow so that it doesn't, or make sure that there's absolutely no rust, dig all that shit out of there. I'll just go in there and I'll clean it up some more, make sure it's completely clean. And here's, yeah, it looks like it could use a good wiping still. I might have to, because from cleaning it, yeah, it's steel. And yeah, I'll have to clean it some more. It's not going to be shiny, that's for sure. This is where I polished the actual steel. It's not chrome at all. It's remarkable. I was able to get some of this. I kind of filed down these edges where the kind of filed down here. I don't know if you can see that right up at the edge where that other bridge was, and it created a decay point. Now, what's interesting, the moisture from your hand and sweat and playing that thing a lot, you know, playing the guitar a lot, will develop in those areas anyway. Acids will eat through. So, are we saying we should go with the stainless or not? You guys decide. But I think what I'm going to do for this customer is I'm going to just keep everything fully original. It's 110 years old. If you take care of it, it should still last another 100 fucking years old. So that's all. That's what it really comes down to, is taking care of it. You know, if you use it, just like any guitar, your hands develop palm sweats and all that kind of shit, and you get sweat on your arms, especially if you're like playing a lot. That sweat is gonna just get all over. It has acids in it that sometimes, if you played long enough, you can feel your arm sticking to the guitar on certain finishes. Some people, it doesn't do that because they don't have that higher acidity. Some do, some don't. Some don't sweat, and some do sweat a lot. So anyway, back to the subject. I'm going to be here. Excuse me. I'm going to be here trying to work on building this bridge. So, however long the camera lasts, me sitting here playing with this thing, I just want to make sure I get this thing dead right. And I might decide to just go ahead and make it anyway, because it's still going to line up with these lines here and work down the way. So, yeah, it's pretty much of a no-brainer. I hope. If I make a mistake, at least I'll have maybe enough material to make another one. Yeah. So, let's see. How big is this? I don't know. See, this is what happens, folks. You see, oh yeah, see, this is what happens when, like I said, this is what happens when you get stoned. You sit there and you're looking for something, and you can't find it, and it's just right there in front of your face. Okay. I'm looking at pretty much 80 millimeters. Bingo. Yeah. I'm super stoked about that. And looking at 57, 58, yeah, about 58. No, 68. Excuse me. 68. So, I'm gonna write that down. I got 80 on the top and 68 on the bottom. I want to make sure I write that down, because I want to measure my full stick here, my shtick, which is, so I need a total of 160. I don't have enough to make two, I guess, unless I do this inversion thing. So yeah, I can probably get two out of these. Whew, that's cold. Right up against my belly. That's chilly. Alright. Yeah, right now it's winter time and it's cold. Yeah, that's 80. So if I put another one inside, using this edge of the taper to this edge at 80, and then I want to measure the full distance at 50. See, I can, I can probably, this is 140 fucking 5. I was hoping I had 150, because then I can put this one this way, and the other one would be this way. But no, it doesn't work out so easily that way, does it? No. Unless I goof up so fucking much that I have to make the smaller one. I want my own design to what I started out with, because how I'm gonna do this, so I'm gonna take this, it's gonna sit here, right, and like I said before, I'm gonna put grooves that, like, where is that? I'm gonna get this all lined up once I get all this cut out and set up. And then I'm gonna draw in where this is supposed to be, and then I get my Dremel or whatever, pretty much my Dremel, and carve that channel out for both sides, and then glue them together. Of course, when I glue these together, I'm gonna have some small little divots to give it more texture, more glue in the inner surface area for attaching. It'll still be completely flat, of course, which then all I have to do is just put some small little divot holes in here, and it allows the glue to adhere into those spaces more. It'll be thicker instead of a thin layer. You have little hole spots. Anyway, that's the way I usually do things. So, yeah. And the way it looks, these right now are so fucking mother that I can pull this up just like that, and it's so tight that it literally almost sticks to itself. That's pretty freaking flat, man. Like, look at that. That's like flat that it sticks. I like that. And they were cut in nitrocellulose. Most of the time you can also cut them with lasers. You can cut them on with a handsaw. It's easier to cut. It's less toxic to work with than that nitrocellulose stuff. Once this gets polished up, it'll look just as polished up as this pit guard, and even better. That's my plan anyway. My evil plan. Alright, so let's get busy and figure this out. I know what this is gonna be. I know what these are gonna be like. So I'll draw this shit the fuck out on how this is gonna be on here. I might as well. And then I'll just imprint it on there. Now, yeah. Sometimes I do things a little anally, but I want to make sure that I get everything dead right the way I want it. Where is my tape? Hey everybody, hope you can see all this. I had to get in on here and reset the camera and all that. So I kind of did a cut groove real quick. And I figured, well, if I can get the position and this thing doesn't get in my way, then I'll, yeah, see, all this stuff. Yeah, so anyway, let's see what we can get going on here. By the way, always wear a mask. Saves your health. So initially I'm going to start with just a simple line that I could get if I get just, it doesn't take much, just use the tool to do the work. Cuts really like butter. See, I'm cutting my channel. So that with a nice sharp tip, using the long end as a good end to keep me straight as a guide. If I was using a ball joint to cut this out, I would have some sort of a stable issue. This helps me keep stable. I just follow the groove that I cut at the initial tip and follow my lead as I go. Makes it much easier to work your way up, so to speak. First I'm going to cut the smaller line out groove, the pattern that I have. Then I'm going to go in deeper with a more, deeper cut-off tip. I want this to be a tight fit, so I'm doing a small cut first. If I can do this without getting camera out of my way. Kind of a feel. Plus, I've been doing this for a long time. I'm going to put the camera out here so I could